Go finish up a HSC Podcast 157. We're doing our weekly movie review. This week we're doing Wesley Snipes. I think this is an interesting one because there was a lot of movies that I wanted to do, and you guys picked like the most opposite of the movies that I was thinking about Wesley Snipes. So we'll start with the obvious one, and Fresh West's not here, but his movie was White Man Can't Jump. This has to be one of his best movies, right? He's playing Sidney Dean. Um, he's playing the hustler, and ultimately, like hustles him after he gets hustled. The comeback hustle might be the best thing, right? Like you got me, but I'm gonna get you in the end,
I don't know. That went against the hustle game.
right?
That was against the hustle rules, what he
Right.
did.
He did break the rules. I agree with that. But there really rules in hustling?
I don't know. And like what happened with that part was is they were already like friends, or you know what I mean? It
Right.
wasn't like a grift. It was like a inside con, which that
Yeah,
was kind of messed
because
up.
he became friends with him and then it screwed him at the end, right?
Yeah. Well, no, that was the middle.
Well, of the movie, I'm just saying in their friendship, right?
Yeah.
So like when you start telling someone that we're gonna hustle together, now you become friends, and then you hustle the person you're hustling with,
Right.
like that's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
But that's why can you trust a hustler, right?
It's
That's
true.
kind of the part of the hustling game. Because what ultimately, like when you look at White Man Can't Jump, you got Woody Harrelson, and so our whole thing's about Wesley Snipes, right? Wesley Snipes plays a great part. Well, what is Woody Harrelson's downfall in this movie?
He doesn't know when to stop. He's an idiot. I mean, he just doesn't know when to quit when he's ahead, right? I mean, it's an interesting movie because I forgot, it's like he loses the girl because he just doesn't learn from his mistakes. He
Right.
just keeps making the same ones over and over again. Even though, like, at the end, he does, he's like, I can do this, and he does it, but it's like you lose the girl for that. Sometimes you win, you still lose.
Sometimes when you win, you still lose. When he beat the 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 duck.
Yeah.
Who was the other guy? What was it? I can't remember
Oh,
the other
what was
guy's
it?
name. The, no, it's not the Queen of the Duck.
What was it? Why can't I find them now?
It was something in the Duck, but when they beat those guys, and then she already went and
Moved out.
played,
The King?
Jeopardy or whatever. King of the
Duck and
Duck.
the King.
Yeah, the King of the Duck. But you know what the worst part of the whole movie is? Is when they play the 3-on-3 tournament, right? And then he wins. And then he says, he's like, I bet you can't. He's like, I bet I can dunk.
Yeah.
And
See,
then,
another reason he was stupid because he'd won his
right,
money and then he bet it all away.
right, because you already had it all. You already won. And then Wesley Snipes even tries to like stop him from
Yeah.
losing the money.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's an interesting movie. I do like about that movie though, because when you think about Woody Harrelson, right? He's a good basketball player in real life. and then you get to watch him play in these different scenes. And I think that the first part of the movie is probably the best part, right? If you watch the first probably like 20 minutes and they have the on the beach basketball scene playing against, you know,
Who, me? Play
Wesley Snipes.
basketball?
Yeah. It's like we're going Sizzler. But that
Team
the whole
Hardison?
dude, it's so good. And you got to realize that that's really the best part of the movie.
That's the fun part. And then it becomes the message after that.
Right. But do you really enjoy any part with Woody Harrelson and what's her name?
No, she did a good job, but I can't stand Rosie Perez.
Rosie Perez, right. Do you enjoy any part of the movie with those two together?
No. That's why when we got picked this, I was like, that was what I dreaded the most was like the what Rosie Perez part.
Right.
I'm not saying like she did her part. I just can't
She
stand
played her
it.
part well. Like you can't be mad at her for it, but she actually played it so well that as a movie viewer, I didn't like her.
Right. But to be fair, I feel bad for her too because he's a dumbass.
Oh, he's so bad. This is so the most interesting thing about me for this movie is when they all meet up, right? And then Wesley Snipes says, "I'm gonna." Doesn't he's not doing it on purpose, but he was just doing it to mess with Woody Harrelson. Starts hitting on Rosie Perez.
Right.
Like, how close is that to like real life?
Well, especially, I mean, they're not really, they're frenemies, right?
Right.
So of course he's gonna mess with him like that.
But it's also like now you feel so insecure
Yeah.
being around this dude.
But he's like a happily married dude with a kid.
Right. And he doesn't care. He's just doing it to mess with him. But
Yeah.
that's not what Woody thinks, dude. Woody is like super insecure.
Well, and that's the thing is the whole part is he picks up on early, and that's why he met. That's what guys do. They find the insecurities in other guys and they mess with them.
Right. I think the end of the movie though, the most important part of the movie, and one of the great parts is when they're playing the tournament together. When they go and the wife says like you have to play the tournament together, they go play the tournament together, and they're like fighting through the whole tournament. But that's I think that's the best part of the movie when is the actual basketball tournament, especially at the end when they're playing like Flight and Willie.
Dwayne Martin, man,
Yeah.
the greatest acting basketball player ever.
I mean, they're pretty good. You gotta admit. So, White Man Can't Jump. We're going Wesley Snipes movies. Let's hit movie two. Let's do your movie because it's such a good movie. New Jack City. So, tell us about New Jack City.
It's the American way. Uh, New Jack City, directed by Mario Van Peebles. Wesley Snipes stars as the drug kingpin. He's the main man of the CMB, Cash Money Brothers. Ice-T plays a cop who's going on, who's trying to take them down. He goes undercover. Mario Van Peebles is the boss, and he gets him and Judd Nelson to try and take down the Cash Money Brothers. Um, Chris Rock's involved as a reformed crackhead, you think, but it was a good his part is Pookie.
Is Chris Rock really not play the ultimate crackhead? Come on.
how much full rib? No, just one rib.
I mean, you're talking about what's that movie?
I'm gonna get you,
I'm
sucker.
gonna get you, sucker. And then now he's in like New Jack City, running around as a crackhead, dude. Like, how did you make your career?
I don't know. But the whole part where like him struggling in his apartment, trying to like, like the with the crack pipe and everything, and is like he had gotten clean.
Right, right. That
That
was
was
an
pretty
interesting.
depressing.
That was a pretty brutal scene, though.
But it's great because Wesley Snipes plays the stereotypical gangster drug dealer.
Right.
He thinks he can get away with everything, and he's going to use the law to his advantage, and he thinks he's untouchable.
Well, he also fought against
Italian
the
mob.
mob, right? But that was an interesting. I actually enjoyed that part of the movie because what was his name? Frankie Needles or something like that comes in, and when he cuts off his hair,
Yeah,
that was one of the best parts of the movie because basically you're saying like Wesley Snipes saying, "Hey, I don't care about your mafia. I don't care about your mob in this city. Like
right.
I'm going after them. Cash Money Brothers. Like we're doing it."
Well, and they take over a whole apartment building to set up their
Right.
thing,
Well,
and
they turned it into a crack house.
yeah.
And that's like a very famous place in New York.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. So that building that they used in the movie, it's like a super famous place.
Hmm,
But you know what the big thing for them is like what do they say? It was like, are you am I my brother's keeper?
right.
And then what happens at the end? You guys all shot each other.
Hey, it's nothing's personal, only business.
But still, these guys that said for the whole movie, you probably saw this in the movie. How many times? Four, five, six times? Am
Oh,
I
I've
my
seen it.
brother's keeper?
I've seen this movie like 100 times.
Right. How many times do they say, "Am I my brother's keeper?"
Yeah, a bunch.
And
But
then what
that's,
do they
I
do?
mean,
They all kill
technically
each
it's
other in the
because
end.
that's because G Money kept messing up. G Money was uh jealous and envious of Nino Brown.
Right.
He wanted to be Nino Brown, and he messed
Or
it up.
or did Nino Brown just control him all the time?
It is true because I think G Money did come up with some of the ideas, and Nino took all the credit.
How many times that happened? Remember, the crack was the first that's what made them. Who
Yeah,
came up with crack?
yeah, G Money did.
G Money did, right? So Nino didn't know about crack until G Money dropped it on him, right? In the Jeep.
Yep,
That's what I thought was crazy. Is like G Money actually he started this whole thing,
they didn't get the credit, and
but
so they got
Nino
jealous.
just took him over and killed him in the end.
Yeah,
So that that's kind of how I feel about Nino and G. So obviously Nino was Wesley Snipes. Played a good part. There was a couple of good parts. There's two great parts. So one was the wedding part. You remember that?
yeah.
When he
Uses
pulled
the
the kid
flower
as a
child as a
shield. I was
shield.
like, come on, dude. Come on, dude. That's like makes you hate him the most, right?
Yeah,
And then what was the other one? Oh, the other worst one was the retribution after that wedding.
right. Where the gun, the drive by.
And it's like, come on, dude. You just drove by and just killed like 20 people. sitting there randomly. I'm like, come on, dude, that's so fake.
Right. Yeah, like the mob wouldn't be more.
Right. They wouldn't have
Although,
people protecting them. Come on, dude. They wouldn't be sitting
here's the
out
thing
there.
though. Now, this is just a movie and I don't speak for the mafia or anything. But those characters in that movie might have been so arrogant thinking no one would ever try to come on their turf.
But we just watched Donnie Brasco. We did that last week,
Yeah, but look, and even in Donnie Brasco, they're just all hanging out outside the bar.
but for like seconds.
Yes,
For me, that was just a little wild. I'm just saying. Like you probably could not have just drove down the street and shot them all.
right.
But regardless, that was the retaliation, so that's fine. Uh the best part. So here's the best part of New Jack City. And there's a lot of good parts. There's amazing music, which is also awesome, right? You know how many good songs there are?
Well, I mean, the New Jack Swing back,
Right.
that was what it was. It was Keith
Dude,
Sweat and
he's there were so many good songs in that movie.
Teddy Riley. They were all
Right.
in the movie.
There's probably like three or four good songs, right?
Yeah.
But you can't tell me the best ending isn't when he comes up and he's like, your soul, whatever, belongs. What does he say? He's like, your soul belongs in hell or whatever, and he shoots him in the chest at the very
Yeah.
end. That it's the best part because what's his name? Ice T and
Judd Nelson.
Judd Nelson. Yeah, Judd Nelson. They're
That's
like
the
they
best part is Judd Nelson smiling.
right. He's smiling. That's what I'm saying. That's so awesome. He's like he's smart because they lost the trial,
Yeah.
but then the dude shoots him. So that's such a good movie, dude. I haven't seen that in probably 15 years.
Yeah. But when you did, it was on all the time.
Dude, it was so good. It's probably one of Wesley Snipes' best performances. Better than any movies we've picked. The only thing I think is close to that one was oh, what's that Sandra Bullock movie and
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man? Yes.
That is the best Wesley Snipes movie.
Yeah, I think that's when he does the best. So let's finish up with the third here, Wesley Snipes. This is my pick, Blade 2. Because first of all, Blade is a badass movie. And the
So why'd you
fact
pick
that
the second?
yeah, so that's what's the interesting part. What makes the second better than the first? Well, first of all, because what's that kid's name? That is in the movie, dude. That
Good.
no, that white kid, dude. I hate him. That's why I didn't pick the first.
Oh,
I'll tell you his name here in a second.
the kid, or was it Deacon Frost?
Deacon Frost, yeah.
Oh, you don't like gosh, what's his name? From SFW. Uh,
I literally cannot stand that guy.
Steven Dorff.
Steven Dorff, yes. Hate him.
And calling him a kid, but he's older than us, Steve.
But he's still a douchebag. So Blade One's great. It's a great movie. And here's what's cool. You got this amazing story about the Daywalker because everybody loves vampires. Tell me no nobody doesn't love vampires. Everybody loves it, right?
Grayson does not like vampires.
So we all love vampires. They're great movies to watch. And then when they make this story about the Daywalker, who is a vampire hunter who can, be in the part of the in the sun. What's great about two? is they turn him from a dude who was an average fighter to this like amazing fucking hunter. Like he's just killing it, right? Like you can't do anything like this guy can do. And then they introduce a new type of like vampire that eats vampires. And so now he has to work with the vampires. Like this stuff that like that's a good like whoever wrote this was great. Like you did a good job. And so to watch that movie and watch how like he turned into this like amazing vampire hunter, it's really fun to watch. I love the first movie, but the second movie was actually better, which you won't see very often. So what did you think of it?
Yeah, I like Blade 2. It's to me it was more, because it is, s- you know, uh s- like the first one was more of an action movie. This one had a little more horror to it because you had like the creepy, weird looking. It was pretty much like a predator face. Like it opened up
Right,
like a predator to like eat the vampires. Um, I like the blood pack because they basically had a they were training a group to kill him, to
right.
kill
They've been
Blade,
training for him a long time.
and now they had to go work with him. Um, it was directed by Guillermo del Toro, so that's why it had a little bit more creepy vibe to it. Norman Reedus is in it as Scud. The only thing I don't like, but it's just because of when it was made. It was in 2002. All the fight scenes had like Mortal Kombat music
Right.
playing the time, and that was the only thing that kind of like turned me off a little bit because I was like do 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 do.
Because
But
that's what happened, right? I mean, you remember the early 2000s to the, maybe mid at most 2000s. How much time do we hear that?
right,
That's what it always was.
and but the choreo the fighting scenes were good. It was just if you could change the music out, it would have been
Right.
better.
But you know how much better his fight scenes were from Blade 1?
Right.
Like he was killing it. Like, dude, like he had so many like cool scenes to watch. It was almost like watching Top Gun. Maybe. A little bit close. So that was good. So we had this week we had Wesley Snipes. We did New Jack City, White Man Can't Jump, Blade 2. Is there any other movies you'd throw in as just
Well, I mean,
a guest?
for Wesley Snipes, well, we talked about Demolition Man.
I think
Always
Demolition Man might be one of my first.
Major League,
Oh, Major League, that's good.
Mo Better Blues, and Jungle Fever, two Spike Lee movies.
Passenger 57.
I was just gonna say that's my guilt. That besides Demolition Man, that's my
Dude,
guilty pleasures.
I
Passenger
love
57.
Passenger 57.
Always bet on black.
Jeez. Passenger 57 is good. That's a good one to throw in there.
One that wasn't as good, but you got the dynamic of Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes again was Money Train
Money Train, I saw that one. It's
and
not the
U.S.
greatest.
Marshals.
U.S. Marshals is good. I actually like that one too.
But that one was more Downey Jr. and Tommy Lee
Right.
Jones.
Yeah, it's not the same as You remember what's that one? Murder at 1600?
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Or Rising Sun with Sean Connery in him.
Oh, that was good too. He's been in a lot more movies than I thought.
Well, we reviewed one of his first movies already in a different podcast, and that's Wildcats.
Well, Wildcats, great.
Now, for me, the one I wanted to pick because it's one of my favorites, but I'll pick for someone else would be the movie, and he's not in it that much because it was kind of like his Wildcats time. Would be King of New York.
Oh, that's good. That's such a good movie. It's
That would be
interesting
Christopher
how someone
Walken.
like him can be so much better when he was young.
Yeah. I think he just like you talk about Brock Bowers, but it was more
Right.
like Wesley Snipes. He kind of, you know,
He peaked at his he peaked at his freshman year.
well, because what was it, Blade 3? They said he was just
Oh,
horrible to
it's
work
so
with.
bad. And well, Blade One was bad too. So the reason I said Blade Two is because he really killed it. But this guy played a lot of movies.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Like he did Major League, but not Major League Two.
Right. Actually, I really enjoyed New Jack City. You know how crazy that movie is to like teach you about like what it feels like to be in the world.
Yeah.
You know how different that is? Like that was so much. How do they know in the 90s, right? Because that's when this is filmed. Like we'd be going through the same shit in 2025.
Well, that's what I tell my wife all the time. That they talk about stuff, but nothing's changed since the 80s.
No, we're going through the same shit, even worse, right?
Yeah.
Since stuff we were watching movies about in the
Yeah. I mean,
fucking 90s.
think about this. We had the whole uproar about the police brutality, but in the 80s, NWA was talking about it.
Yeah,
It wasn't
fuck the
like it wasn't
police.
there. It's been there the whole time.
You know what I was just thinking about the other day was did you ever see that show The Shield on FX?
Oh, with Michael Chiklis?
Yeah, Michael Chiklis. You remember when they did the uh snipers with the 911 calls?
Mm-mm.
So they call 911 and then they would sniper the cops
Oh, dang.
that showed up. I started thinking about that the other day. I was like, are you kidding me? So in 1995, we were watching a show that was calling 911 to bring cops there so they could sniper them. What do you think's happening right now?
Well, don't they just do that with firefighters?
Literally, just shot a bunch of firefighters in Idaho, right? Just in New York, shot some ICE agents. We're literally going through the shows we saw in the 90s, dude.
Yeah. Because history repeats itself.
Right. It absolutely is crazy right now.
Well,
But
that's the thing is, back in the 80s and 90s, we didn't know about this stuff. Now it's like I can go online right now. I'm like, oh, something happened in South Carolina.
oh, you'll see it in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But you didn't know that 100 years ago. Like, no, you
No,
didn't know.
we had ignorance was bliss back then.
It's probably better, dude. You know, Holly's favorite thing to talk about with immigration? I didn't know that was happening in Obama's administration. So it's okay that was happening back then.
Oh,
Because you didn't know, your ignorance is okay.
yeah. That's not